Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Unfold. This is Tristi, and Unfold is where every layer is a revelation and every story holds its ground in a lot of reality and growth. Every immigrant story holds a question, I think, and all of you would relate with me on that. Do I belong here where I am, as I am, without changing? Or do I need to change to fit in? Most of us who are immigrants have always gone through this question and always have felt this in our life. So hence today's episode is also very special because we talk about that journey of not just an immigrant but who's also a filmmaker, and hence he carries the responsibility of telling that story not just for himself but for so many of us out there. And in Unfold, we always try to celebrate stories that are not very loud but are deeply felt. Stories that are not identified by grand gestures but by small acts of courage. And we bring to you a similar story with an international casting director and a filmmaker from Nepal but based out of Toronto, Mr. Pukar Raj Bhandari. So welcome to the studio, Pukar, and thank you so much on behalf of my entire team for joining us here today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
And if I have to introduce Pukar in a very short, though we will do catch up with him in this show, but if I have to introduce him very briefly, he's a graduate from a very leading college in GTA and is a filmmaker who has worked across Nepal, France, India, Australia, and Canada, and is the first international casting director of Nepali heritage to do so. So even to be able to introduce you with all these accolades feels very proud to me as a fellow Nepali and a fellow immigrant. Now, please to introduce yourself to our viewers a little bit, where you want to highlight your journey or any of your achievements very briefly, and then we'll get into to know more about you and your journey.
Thank you for such a nice introduction. I myself feel so proud you saying that, being a Nepali. And so my name is Pukar. I am originally from Nepal and I'm based in Toronto. Do you want to like go with my journey or?
Anything. I mean, it's your introduction, so
Okay,
please,
cool.
yeah, we'll go your way.
All right. So my name is Pukar. I'm originally from Nepal. Now I'm based in Toronto. I started a film journey in 2017. I was an actor back then. I did some theater play in Nepal, and then I did film acting. Back then, when I did film, one of the film, I remember The Rope of Hope. It did quite well. It also went to multiple film festivals. And then when I was doing that film, I got to see the process of filmmaking. Then I was really hooked by it and got more, wanted to do more of writing and editing from that film. I also did a lot of casting because, in Nepal, there is no proper casting culture. We don't have any international casting director, and I always dreamed of myself, to be in Hollywood. So I was like, how do I make it? And then there's a process for it. There's agents, there's things like unions and stuff, and
Absolutely.
yeah, there are so many other things. And being from Nepal, it's always hard, to make it to Hollywood or like international film.
Yeah.
And when I was auditioning myself from Nepal, it was quite tough because a lot of agents or like casting directors, they would ask me like, hey, are you based in New York? Hey, are you based in LA? And I had never been out of Nepal, right? So it was quite tough. And then through my process of getting into Hollywood, I got myself introduced more into casting, and I was like, yeah, somebody from Nepal who knows the authenticity, there should be a casting director, and this is how we're gonna get opportunity in like international film. Otherwise,
Absolutely.
the main problem with this is it's like kind of typecast, I would say, or stereotype casting.
Yeah, I think in every field and every journey, that first is what is always very difficult, and it's like kind of path breaking.
Yeah.
So what I hear a little bit from you and knowing your journey, I feel like you have kind of paved that path, and the coming generation or the coming people, the group of people who are going to follow this path are going to really find it comparatively easier, if not in anything else. So I also would like to let our viewers know that he's worked on globally recognized projects, as he said before, and he's also currently directing a short film called Lagutabhas, and that's a story about a young immigrant child who finds it difficult in her journey to embrace her cultural identity. So I think this subject is very, very close, not just to Pukar's but also to mine as an immigrant and as a mother. We will get into more details of that. But before that, Pukar, like you mentioned in your introduction that you have worked as casting director, and I also read somewhere that you are the first casting director of Nepali heritage who's worked internationally and made it so big. What does that mean to you as as a casting director, or probably as a creative person, both personally and professionally?
Uh, Now it means everything to me because this is the journey I want to follow and I want to pursue my whole life. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be writer, director, and casting director. And I keep on want to help Nepali, make it global. And I'm also in that path. I haven't made like big, but being from that community, spot where I've reached now, as a casting director, nobody has make it. So I keep on wanna, paving that path, and then like it's just not me. Like I want to bring more people from Nepal.
Yeah. So this is just I'm sure this is just the beginning, and
Yes.
there are a lot more dreams to be achieved. So. As an immigrant filmmaker, to be specific, what was the biggest culture or creative adjustment to fit in? Did you ever feel the need to fit in, or the adjustment that what is the biggest one that you can think of?
Uh, for me, because being from Nepal, we are already raised with a diverse people. Nepal is a melting pot. We have 134 different group of people.
Absolutely, for
Yeah.
that small size of country, I think that's
Yeah, so
that's humongous.
yeah, we know diversity and we love that, right? So for me, it was not hard, to come to like place like Toronto, which is also a kind of melting pot.
Absolutely.
It's like a mosaic. So many different community people they live here. So it was not hard for me to like kind of fit in, but being from Nepal and being kind of raised in like Eastern culture rather than Western culture, few things kind of clash.
Yeah.
But now, over the years, I've kind of assimilated myself here. So honestly, like fitting was not a problem, but definitely there were a few things, which was like kind of new to me, and I had to learn that the hard way. But other than that, being from Nepal, I think that was my plus point that I could easily assimilate in like a country like Canada.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you mentioned, I think it's said about Nepal that every few kilometers you go, you find completely different
Yep.
people who look completely different, people
Yeah.
who talk completely different language and have different cultures. So yeah, like I said before, for a country as small as Nepal,
Yeah.
that's a very, very amazing example of diversity.
Yeah, but one thing I wanna say here is,
Yeah.
I always say Nepal is great. I would never say Nepal is small,
Absolutely.
even by the size. We are not that small. Like we are around a 200 something country,
Yeah.
and we don't even come like halfway if you like just calculate by the size. So I want to say every Nepali, never ever say our country is small. Always say a country that is great Nepal.
Oh, absolutely. I think size
Yeah.
is just being there factually, geographically,
I know.
but
Yeah.
the
Because
greatness.
I feel like because our film is
Yeah.
about inferiority complex,
The
and
greatness
people
doesn't
have
come
already
from
inferiority complex with this.
No,
Say small country.
Absolutely not. Absolutely, that's
So,
absolutely
yeah.
not what I mean. I always talk on facts, and
Yeah.
that's just being factually aware
Yeah.
about ourselves and not deriving greatness from
Yeah.
our size, right? So greatness comes from multiple factors. So yeah. Even your story of your movie Lagutavas, that looks very simple on the surface, but I see that there's a lot of depth and its own very unique complexities in it. Where did this thought of this movie come from, and why did you feel the need to make that in today's day and time?
Yeah, so when I moved to Canada and I went to Sheridan College, uh, my program, like, I was the only international student in my group. There were like, I don't know, 91 students. That 91 is me because I was the only one from Nepal, and being in the group, the only international students. At first, I was like, how people like, are they gonna judge me? Because I'm not like extrovert. I'm trying to be, but I'm kind of like introvert person. And yeah, during my like initial days in Sheridan, I was like learning so many new things, and being an introvert person, it's like so hard for you to like make friends and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then like so many things were new for me, and then while going there, after like 2 weeks or so, I got kind of like friendly with a couple of friends, and then like when they got to know about me being from Nepal, because like so many people, they don't know much about Nepal besides like Buddha and the Everest. So they're like, yeah, I was the third thing, they're from Nepal. And I myself felt in so many ways like, so even like, while in the like lunch break, I used to bring like Nepali food, and all of my friends, they would love it. But when I hear like some stories from like Indian friends or other people, their story was different. And I was like, okay, so that's the thing too. So like, yeah, I'll kind of like, try to like get more experience of it, firsthand, kind of from other friends too. And being from Nepal myself, over the years, all these experience and stories I've heard, firsthand, secondhand, whatever. So I feel like this story is really important, and it comes with my own personal experience too, and also like the stories that I've heard, from other people too.
Yeah. So a lot of times we do see that, children kind of face this inferiority,
complex.
Complex very silently, and a lot of times they are not even able to share because they see their parents are first generation immigrants, and they're already struggling with so many things. They might not understand, there's so many. So especially to parents who would be watching your movies, right? What do you think they take away from your movie or learn, from your movie as an audience? The message that you're trying
to
the
parents?
give, especially for the parents, because I think kids are already going through that process, right? So it would be great to have us parents learn something, probably unlearn something, and then learn something from your movie. So anything that you have in your mind?
I feel like a lot of kids, like they might be like introvert like me, and they might not be outspoken. So it's really important for parents to show empathy to them, even though like they don't speak much. And I feel like love and care, it doesn't have to be loud,
So true.
Yeah, so I feel like being more or showing more empathy to kids, I think it's really important, and that is one of the messages or sub-layers this film carries.
That's amazing. At that amazing note, we will take a short commercial break and we'll be right back with you. And like Pukar earlier mentioned, some stories can show love very silently but yet be very, very powerful. Stay tuned and we'll be right back.
अगर आपको दुबई या मिडिल ईस्ट नुमा जेवरात की तलाश है, तो आपको दूर जाने की बिल्कुल जरूरत नहीं। आज ही हमारे मिसिसागा रिजवे स्टोर तशरीफ लाइए, अल करम ज्वेलर्स। हमारे पास सोने के बेहतरीन कंगन, कड़े, झुमके, हार और सोने के सेट्स भी दस्तयाब हैं। शादी हो या मेहंदी या कोई भी फंक्शन, आपकी पसंद के तमाम जेवरात आपको हमारे स्टोर में मौजूद मिलेंगे। आज ही हमारे स्टोर पर तशरीफ लाइए, अल करम ज्वेलर्स, 3465 प्लैटिनम ड्राइव, यूनिट 99, मिसिसागा, या फिर कॉल करें 905-828-0009। अल करम ज्वेलर्स, फरमाइश आपकी, गारंटी हमारी।
In times of trouble, what do? Do you face it alone? Or do you find the best help that
and neither should you. I'm Rohit Sharma. Whether you are facing criminal charges, buying your first home, or protecting your family, I'm here to help you. When your future is on the line, experience matters. At Rohit Sharma Law, we deliver results with clarity and care.
At Rohit Sharma Law, we specialize in a wide range of legal services, including family law, criminal defense, real estate transactions, immigration matters, civil litigation, and notary public services.
Book a consultation today. Let's take the next step together. You can call us at 416-741-1115 or email us at info@rohitlaw.ca.
Hello everyone, welcome to Shakai.
Shah Karhai and Grill has it all. Sizzling chicken and beef karhai, juicy kebabs, tender biryani, fresh naan and more. Come taste the flavors everyone's talking about.
One of the best है ना, दूसरा जो quality of naan है, that's incredible. This is one of the best. I would highly recommend them.
That's foodish, fire, chana, everything is amazing. Food zabardast, naan is good. Everything is amazing.
Welcome back. You're watching Unfold, and we have international filmmaker and casting director Pukar Raj Bhandari with us in our studio, and we are talking about immigrant story, a lot of personal stories and connections being established here, and also very interesting because it's about filmmaking and storytelling. Welcome back again, Pukar. So we were discussing about your journey as a Nepali filmmaker, a Nepali casting director, and also your current project. But now let's move on to a few of your interesting past projects, where you have kind of made a Nepali representation internationally. I read about your movie called Maiti Ghar. I think it was also nominated to Cannes and got so many awards. So, what does that mean to you to be able to put Nepali representation or Nepali name at that global stage? A little bit about your journey and probably about what it means to you.
It means a lot of things to me. It's very important in my life as I'm growing in my career as a casting director. And so My Tiger is one of the best project I have ever done. So it's from like French filmmaker. His name is Marcos, who also has kind of half Nepali root.
Okay.
And we got connected like I think like 3 years back, and we were like, hey, we should do some Nepali story. And finally he come up with this idea of the story of My Tiger, and then we planned on filming that in Nepal. But at that time I was in Canada, I was not in Nepal, and he was like, yeah, but I still want you to be the casting director of the film, because you're the best from Nepal. And I was like, yeah, sure. And one problem or a challenge we faced during the process of casting that film was because he's French, he does not speak Nepali or English.
Okay.
That was quite challenging, and
Okay.
we had to like translate everything because I don't speak French, right?
Wow, what an interesting, collaboration that would have been,
It was
right?
quite a challenge, but yeah, I enjoyed the process. It was not hard as we have like the technology. It has
Absolutely.
reached like
Absolutely.
it's really advanced nowadays. We can just Google Translate thing and like we are good in communication. So yeah, we come up with that story, and then I did the casting. It went really well. It also has one of the stars from Nepal, Karma Shakya.
Okay.
Yeah, and then a lot of young aspiring actors from Nepal. We have a lot of female cast on that because the story was more driven through the female perspective. And as a French-Nepali collaboration, I would say it was not nominated in Cannes, but it was screened at Cannes from
Oh,
Uni
okay.
Francais, yeah,
Okay.
from the French side. And screening in Cannes is always like big achievement.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then that film won multiple awards. Yeah, a lot of awards in so many festivals in Portugal, Greece, you name it, a lot of countries.
So that was made in Nepali, the bit.
Yes, the main language spoken in the film because the characters are from Nepal. So we did use Nepali as a,
Okay.
yeah, it's a Nepali language film, but it's a French and Nepali co-production.
So to our viewers who are wondering what does the word Maiti Ghar mean, the movie that we are discussing about, it means the maternal home for a girl. So there is a culture in the Eastern society which still prevails, is that when a girl is married, she leaves the home she is born in, her parents' home, and goes to the home where she is married to. So the home where she is born, her maternal home, is referred to as Maiti Ghar. So yeah, that was beautiful knowing about the journey and that interesting French-Nepali collaboration, and like you mentioned, how much technology can help us kind of be a boon. Now, from what I understand from your journey, you have worked across different countries, different cultures, right? So as a Nepali filmmaker, and as somebody who's kind of done it, a lot of first for you probably in that industry, do you now feel a responsibility as a Nepali filmmaker or a storyteller on now, okay, I've started this path, I feel responsible. Do you see yourself anywhere there, or what do you feel is your responsibility as somebody who's done the first of so many?
Yeah, once I have the network and experience in the industry, I feel like I have a lot of responsibility because there's like no one to like kind of guide, like if they want to like go into like international stuff, or like international filmmaking scene. And mostly like I haven't like reached to the level like if you talk about a writer or director, but as a casting director, yes, of course, I feel a lot of responsibility. For example, like how to get these actors from Nepal
To open that gateway,
to
right?
door to like France or I don't know like Europe, because there is a big film industry there too. Like UK is the country which makes a lot of film there. And if you talk about North America, like Canada, we make 100 films a year, and US, it's a hub. So Hollywood. So I feel like I still want to like post Nepali actors and like open more doors for them. So I'm like trying that too, like for example, like the Big Girls Don't Cry was one of the project. It came because I had that vision, a dream to like open door for Nepali artists. So we have like legendary Gauri Malla, Richa Sharma, and also the youngster Lakila, who is now, I can't reveal the name, but it's a really big Bollywood film now. She's doing that film, and then in the Big Girls Don't Cry, she was one of the lead. And being from Nepal, getting a lead character in her first debut is like, it's a big thing. After Manisha Koirala, I don't think so like anybody has done it.
Absolutely.
So I think like next one could be like Lakila, and I wish her all the luck. So that was one project, and then I've been I'm like trying to reach out to more filmmakers, and like if there is anything that kind of has a Nepali feature role, like the role that requires some Nepali actors, I don't want them to be like stereotype and cast someone else. Yeah.
Who looks like us, right? And
they do that a lot of
fit
time.
in the bottle.
Like, that's too stereotypical because I mentioned earlier, Nepal is so diverse.
Absolutely.
I mean, what do you mean? Even like while you cast Nepali people, you have to know like what's their background, with ethnicity do they come from?
Absolutely.
It's really important. So yeah, I carry a lot of responsibility, and I'm like full on, to do whatever need to do.
That's great to know. Now, just from seeing you speak very passionately about it, I just was very curious to understand. There would have been so many filmmakers before you, right? And what do you think really helped you? Like why could Pukar become that first person who could do it? Anybody before you could have done it, right? But what did you do differently? What path did you take differently that helped you to be where you are and kind of pave path for others?
Yeah, I wish there was some other casting director from Nepal, and that would make
your path easy.
Yeah, so easier. I didn't have to learn so many things hard way.
Yeah.
I wish, but that's not the case.
Yeah.
So, sorry, what was the question?
Yeah. So, what did you do? What did Pukar do differently that he was able to open those doors that were, not open for so long?
Yeah. I think more than like doing things differently, what I feel is like being a Nepali, the Gurkha culture, I think I have that, inside me. I'm a son of like
the resilience,
army.
the determination,
I'm son of an
the
army,
focus.
so I have the Gurkha thing. You push on, you keep on going. You're a go-getter, whatever you dream of. So I have that attitude. I think like that attitude actually helped me. Like I never felt myself like I'm less than anyone else, and that attitude actually helped for me, for sure.
That's great to know. I think if each of us carry that belief of self-belief, and anybody can achieve anything they put their heart at, right? So I think that's beautiful. I also read somewhere that you very diligently mentor a lot of Nepali artists from Nepali diaspora. And why is that so important for you? Like, why do you feel the need or the responsibility to do that? And if you want to throw some light in your journey of mentoring also, we would love to know that.
Yeah, sure. It's because of my personal experience. So when I started, there was no one, from the Nepali community to guide me. And I struggled a lot, and I learned, the hard way. So I don't want people to struggle that much, take those long times just to, understand some basic stuff. Because when I was doing union films in Canada, so in Canada, there's a thing called union, there's either union or guild for like every discipline, whatever you do. If you do like acting, it's ACTRA, So because in Nepal, there's no such thing as union and stuff. They have like organization for artists, but not like union thing, right? So when I moved here, I wanted to get into the industry here, right? So how do I make it? Because I have no one to guide me, the path gonna be so tough. So I want to make this thing really easier for them. So I'm like kind of even like in Canada, like Toronto Film School, we have like 5 Nepali students like in 2024 and 2025, which I believe the highest number of Nepali, studying film in any school. So yeah, Canada is becoming a hub for film, especially for Nepali people. And even like they come out of their school, like when they graduate, I feel like they struggle to like get in the industry. And it's because they don't have the knowledge. I know like Google is there, but it's still like, there's so many industry insider thing that Google can't tell you, even like ChatGPT. So there has to be someone who has that experience and who has, gone through that path. They can actually guide you. So yeah, that's kind of thing, I'm trying to do.
Okay, so and do you want to throw some light on your mentoring journey, or say maybe how many people you have mentored, or how do you get onto that, or what all do you do?
Yeah, so many
the area of
people.
mentoring?
Before I used to mentor more like actors. So this is the process where we did all these Big Girls Don't Cry. Even like there's another film by Australian filmmaker, Family Man, and a lot of other films too. Even in my own film, Rope of Hope, which was also premiered in Niagara, Canada International Film Festival. Yeah, a lot of actors. I'm like trying to guide them with the union rules, how to make it to international, because there is agents and stuff like that. And in Nepal, there is no agent, unfortunately. And finally, we have got someone who can do that job. She's also from France. And we have like, she's like now representing a few actors from Nepal. And like now they're trying for European films, which is great, right? So yeah, a lot of people, Lakila and all those people, yeah, I've guided them, in their initial career, and also like the filmmakers, all these film graduates from Nepal, not just in Canada, also in the US. Yeah, and from like even like basic stuff, like people don't know, like, okay, I graduate from film, like, let's say one of the film school, and then how do I get into the industry? A lot of the people would say, hey, you do production assistant, but I mean that could give you a network. I mean, some people might, go through that way and it might work, but for so many people, I feel like, because they're interested in so many different disciplines, so why don't they like, try to get into that?
So isn't that side also covered in your course, like when you study, or why do you see that gap? Like when you say you feel the need to mentor Nepali artists, what happens to the other non-Nepali? Do they have a mentoring, or do they already have people who are established?
They have, oh my God, like Linear Center and all. They have a lot of opportunity.
That is the gap we are talking about.
Yeah, that is the gap. And other thing is for immigrant, if you don't have a permanent residency or citizenship, you can't get into so many unions, like even like ACTRA.
Okay.
So if you go to the set, they will earn double than you, but you're not on that much. And then because you can't get into the union, you have to be non-union, and that does not give you so many opportunities.
Okay.
So yeah, that's
a grassroots level problems you're talking about. Okay. Now, when you're talking about movie scenes, and telling stories, do you still feel there are certain immigrant stories that still are to be told? Like I see one you're telling through your own movie, Awaz. That's your current project. And so are there any other immigrant stories that you really feel need to be told? Do you have anything in mind that comes right while we speak right now?
Yeah, sure. I'm actually writing a web series, which is again immigrant story. It's about somebody, because in this LA, my short film is told through the eyes of the children, right? Yeah, it's a very kid-focused story. But now this time I want to bring a series, and it's from the eyes of the adult, especially people like
first generation immigrants.
A lot of immigrants. They come to Canada or other countries, for studies, and mostly, after their teen years. So yeah, I have that story, and I do feel like, there should be more. And being Canada, being so welcoming to immigrants, we have a lot of immigrant stories, and we should, tell more of it.
Wow, that's amazing. Whatever little I've heard from you, your story, this Awaz, reminds us that identity, when we carry our identity to a different country, we don't have to defend it, we don't have to hide it. We can be very unapologetic about it and still hold our ground, and be very proud about it. And I think one person reaching out to us and saying, tell me more about you, tell me more about your story, I think really can make a lot of difference. Just that one person who sits with you and tells, I'm ready to listen to your side of the story, right? So, I think as an immigrant myself, first generation immigrant, and to be precise, quite a new at that, I think this story really tells my story too. And I'm sure a lot of our viewers who would have access to watching his story later on, through his movie, would feel that this is their own story. I'm sure a lot of people are going to feel like, oh, this is my story too. So thank you so much from all of us, this group of immigrants who are going to find this story very personal, on first taking on the story and making it and choosing to tell our story. I think that's what the difference people like you make, Pukar, in the community, that a lot of us have stories, but it's about who takes that first leap of telling it out. So thank you so much for doing that. And a lot of times we feel the confidence comes from being loud, but I think confidence comes from being understood and being accepted the way we are. So I would like to wind up today's show, and at the end, if there's anything that you want to share with our viewers or anything before we close, if you want to tell, please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity being here. I had a good time, and I want to say be proud of where you come from and your background and your ethnicity. And culture is such an important, such an important thing, because to create a culture, or like even like language, it's not like things that is done in a very short time.
Span.
It takes like
Absolutely.
years and years, maybe centuries, right? So it's really important to be proud of who you are. And my film LA it's not just like immigrant story, like so many people they can relate to it. It's just not being inferior on you, and like not having inferiority complex. Nobody is superior, nobody is inferior, so just be proud of yourself and your background.
Yeah, thank you so much, Pukar, once again for telling the story of vulnerability, telling the story of courage, and telling the story of our journeys. Thank you so much, our viewers, for staying with us. This is Unfold, where every voice is a layer and every layer is a revelation of who we are becoming. Until next time, stay rooted, be proud of who you are, right where you are. Thank you so much.